everyone.
Hi, everyone.
Here comes Peter.
Hello.
So it is a Wednesday, and I am going to be filming a reading vlog for Victober, a preemptive reading vlog, or I don't know, preparational reading vlog. Peter, did you finish your lunch?
No.
Okay, you need to finish your lunch. We're going to do school soon. So we have a homeschool co-op that we're taking part in, and today was orientation and kind of finding out where the classes are.
It was fun.
It was fun. All of that. And so we got back, we had some lunch, and we're just going to do kind of...
I loved it.
You loved it. We're going to do bare minimum of school today. So math, language arts, and then we have one history activity we're going to do, and one, we're going to do an astronomy lesson. So Peter loves astronomy. So I just thought I would show Peter's math today is subtraction.
Astronomy's the best.
Astronomy's the best. Peter's math today is subtraction with regrouping review, which he has been practicing this all summer. So far, the math hasn't been any crazy new concepts. It looks like there's a lot of review on this side. There's a game we're going to play, Peter, some kind of number game. Then you have some logic puzzles and multiplication that you'll be reviewing. And then Arthur's math is numbers 8 to 9, and we'll be practicing counting to 20. So Arthur has been a very enthusiastic student, and it's been very fun to be working with him. I'm not doing any reading with him yet because his dad is working through Teach Your Child to Read in 100 Easy Lessons with him. So I'm not going to do the language arts curriculum until then. So the reason I am starting a reading vlog is that Katie, as you will now know, you will have seen the announcement videos, and picked kind of, if you were using the prompts, you would know that Katie's prompt is read a book featuring the new woman. And at first I was kind of racking my brains. I knew I could possibly read The Odd Women by George Gissing, but I don't know, I didn't really feel quite ready to read another George Gissing after, what did I read? Oh, The Netherworld in January, and that was so intense. And I know that The Odd Women is less intense.
Hi.
Oh, there's Tabby Cat. Hi, Tabby. So I know that The Odd Women is less intense, but I just thought for Victober, I want to read The Odd Women at some point, but not during Victober. So I have 4 books then that I am interested in reading for this prompt. And I'm going to do a try-a-chapter video. So the first one is one that I've owned for several years and haven't tried, and it's called Her Father's Name by Florence Marryat. And this is, it's like, I think more of the spirit of the new woman prompt. So it's a story of Leona Lacoste, a pistol-toting young woman who embarks upon a daring quest to clear the name of her late father. It has murder, mystery, cross-dressing, illegitimacy, amateur sleuthing, and hysteria. So this could be a wild ride. And the nice thing about these Victorian Secret Publishers editions is that there's always a fair amount of supplemental material. So there's some appendices at the back, and then at the beginning there is an introduction, which I will not read at the beginning. So I have been meaning to try this for years. I was excited about it when I purchased it and then forgot about it. Although since she's pistol-toting, I mean, that just sounds like the new woman. Then one that Katie suggested, which was Hester by Margaret Oliphant. So Margaret Oliphant, Miss Marchbanks, did not enjoy, like, at all. It's so weird because then in the Carlingford Chronicles, I read The Perpetual Curate and absolutely adored it. The reading didn't come quite as easily as Gaskell's writing or Charlotte Mary Young's, but it was the most, by far, I had enjoyed Margaret Oliphant. I had read the earlier 2 in the Carlingford Chronicles, and I enjoyed those, but The Perpetual Curate I loved. So I owned this copy of Hester, and I tried it a few years ago, couldn't get into it, and I want to give it another try. Maybe now could be the right time. So I'm hoping that it won't, feel so laborious to read this second go round. And I know it's about a woman who's independently wealthy, Catherine Vernon. And then there's supposed to be some good female friendship in here. So yes, there's Hester, the title character. So I'll be very curious what I think of this now. And it's annoying because the tape is all reflective, but the binding was really starting to fall apart. So I put some tape on there. And then another one that Katie suggested, and one that, okay, there is a bookmark in here, 46 pages in. So that makes me wonder, had I gotten 46 pages in? I don't know. But this is the fallen woman kind of story. And Esther Waters, let's see, George Moore's story of a mother's fight for the life of her illegitimate son. So this sounds really intense, kind of Hardy-esque. So we'll see if I end up being in the mood for it, but it was on Katie's list and I own this copy and have been meaning to read it ever since I bought it. And then lastly, A Struggle for Fame by Charlotte Riddell. And this is one that I tried a few Victobers ago and just ended up kind of softy and effing it. I didn't actively dislike it. I just didn't feel like really plowing through it. A woman's mother dies, and with it, her family's fortune. And then she needs to decide what she can do to take care of herself and her ailing father. So she moves from Ireland to London, and then she tries to succeed as a novelist. So, A Struggle for Fame, Esther Waters, Hester, and her father's name. I think I am the most intimidated by Esther Waters, then followed by Hester, then A Struggle for Fame. It's funny, I have tried all three of these, and the most excited about her father's name. So I will be trying them in this order. So in between school when the boys are doing independent work, and then after they're done this afternoon, this is my plan for the afternoon. I have other reading that I should be doing, but I just wanted to take the time to do this so that then I can have it nailed down. Okay, I'll be back to let you know what I thought of the first chapter of Esther Waters. And let's see how long the first chapter is. Oh, I'm averting my eyes as I flip through the introduction. 4, 5, let's see here. This first chapter is fairly, I missed the end of the first chapter. Okay, it is only 8 pages. So I think actually maybe I'll read 2 chapters. I'm going to see how long the length of the other first chapters in the other books are, and then I'll kind of make my decision based on that. At 22 pages, I think I might just try to read the first 2 chapters and let you know what I think. I read the first 2 chapters of Esther Waters, and I do like this. I don't love it, but I do like it. It's feeling very Downton Abbey because one, it feels a lot more modern than some Victorian literature because obviously there was such a span. But in the beginning, she's waiting for a train. So that's already feeling a lot more modern. And then having girls come and work out of the home. Obviously, the servant class has been around a long time, but it's interesting. There are not many Victorian novels that focus on servants. It's either like in Dickens, I feel like it's, they're completely impoverished, or upper gentility. Kind of this in the middle isn't as in as many novels. So I find that really refreshing. I don't see that in as many. Now, there is a fair amount of talk of horse racing, and I don't find horse racing dull, but I am concerned about kind of how much of the conversations are going to revolve around it, kind of giving recaps of the horse races as opposed to going to see the horse races themselves. So far, the character of Esther has not won me over at all. George Moore is really stressing kind of how ignorant she is and inexperienced. I think he's wanting to set the stage for how naive she is. But when a few of the fellow servants, she's just started at this job, and a few of the servants are kind of making commentary back and forth to her, and she's very confused. She doesn't understand some of the bigger words that they're using, so she decides just to punch one of the footmen because she's pretty sure they were making fun of her. And so the fact that she's just punched someone after just meeting them, and especially because she's just confused about the way that they're talking, I'm not really wildly impressed by her. But I am, willing to grow to love Esther as a character. But so far, she hasn't just captured me right away. So this is definitely a contender. I don't know if it's one that I want to read during Victober. I have a kind of specific requirements for books during Victober, and either it's like I like them to be page turners or just have characters that I will fall completely in love with. So this is the shortest out of the books that I'm considering, and I'll be curious kind of what the other books feel like. So the next one then that I'm going to try is going to be Hester, and let's see, how long is it going to be? There's a very substantial introduction in it, and I'm not going to read the introduction before. Okay, 11 pages for the first chapter. It did feel a bit much for a try-chapter to read 2 chapters, so I think with the second one, well, it's only 11 pages for the next chapter. I don't know. I'll sit down with the first chapter, and if I feel like I have a good idea, then maybe I'll read more, but for now, just try 1 chapter of Hester, and I will let you know what I think of it. Okay, that is a hard pass for Hester. I cannot explain what it is. There is some kind of X factor quality about her writing in this that immediately it feels like pulling teeth reading this. And I am just at a point in my reading life where I just I let my reading intuition tell me whether or not I want to read something. And people say, oh, well, push through because then you might end up with a new favorite book. Every single time that I have pushed through, I have basically hate read the book. And it's made me resent the book so much more than I would have if I had set it down and tried again another time. And I have set books and tried them again other times and then really enjoyed them. So I am giving myself permission as a 30-something lady to set this book down. I'm not getting rid of it. I might try it again in the future, but I just know what the reading experience will be like, and I need to not force it because I could just make myself dislike this book for keeps if I push through. So, on to A Struggle for Fame, which this cover is something else. I love it. I kind of wish we could see her face, but it's very eye-catching. I just saw in the introduction, oh my goodness, Jude. Oh, wow. Oh, I can't tell what it's saying, like, in comparison. As the 19th century drew to a close, the idea of writing about the real nitty-gritty of life became increasingly popular, with Thomas Hardy's Jude the Obscure scandalizing critics in 1895. However, Riddell's increasingly outmoded triple-decker form omitted her from this movement. And while she worked in a struggle for fame to express the changes she experienced in the publishing world and to go some way to plot the wider changes which industrialization brought to the social landscape, she herself said she was behind the age instead of abreast of it. She became a victim of market forces, and the form that had brought her success wrought her demise. No one wanted to publish expensive 3-volume novels anymore. So this, I guess, then came out late Victorian era. But that's interesting, the Jude comparison, but it was saying that she felt like she was old-fashioned in comparison, so it's going to be okay. So it looks like 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, 7 pages to kick off A Struggle for Fame. I have a basic memory of what the premise was like, and I liked it well enough, so I'm hoping maybe this would be the time that I would want to read A Struggle for Fame. My lovely friend Bethany gifted me this book a few Victobers ago, and I've wanted to read it ever since. So hopefully it will just be the time to read it. Okay, I didn't love this opening chapter. Again, it's all kind of sometimes inexplicable qualities in the writing style. I can't tell you what it is that necessarily I didn't love. I just know that some books immediately I'm like, who is this character? I want to know more about them. What are their likes? What are their dislikes? What is going to happen to them? And Other books, I just don't feel drawn into them. So it's not like I'm like the writing was just appalling. I don't know. It just didn't quite pull me in like I was hoping it would. So far, Esther Waters is in the lead, which I was not predicting. That was the one I was the most intimidated by. So now, let's see here. How many pages am I going to go through? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, 12 pages to this first chapter of Her Father's Name. I kind of think this might end up winning the wild card pick. It just seems very fun and entertaining and pulpy, and I'll let you know what I think of it. It has been a whirlwind of an afternoon. We finished school and we're just really particularly enjoying astronomy. We studied Lyra today and read the Orpheus and Eurydice myth that went along with it. And then with history, we're currently doing the Vikings. So we read about a map that was found in 1957, and cartographers and historians cannot agree about whether it's an authentic Viking map or not, which was fascinating. So Peter's practicing violin right now. I don't know if you can hear it. But I just wanted to say that my wild card prediction did come true, and I am going to read Her Father's Name. I am extremely intrigued by the beginning. First of all, the writing style suited me just so. Like, it was exactly what I was just dreaming it would be like it. I haven't read anything by Florence Marryat. Her books seem a bit more out there than I would usually go for. Like, what is a vampire story? And she just has some crazy, crazy stories. But it also starts out in Brazil. How many Victorian novels can you say start out like that? So I'm very much intrigued. I don't know if Florence Marryat herself ever went to Brazil. I don't know. But this has me excited. And our leading character, whose name is Leona Lacoste, I want to know so much more about her. This is what I have ended up picking for the New Woman prompt. And I think this will be a lovely addition to my Victober reading this year. And hopefully I will make time for it in Victober in the midst of all the books that I want to get to. And will be telling you about it in my Victober wrap-up. So thank you for joining me for this Try-a-Chapter Tag. Let me know if you had heard of Her Father's Name. And I will be back with another Victober video soon. Bye.